2022 was a pretty tough year for the stock market. We heard about interest rates, recessions, inflation going crazy. The S&P 500 fell. FTSE 100 did quite well actually, but also some of the big tech companies have dropped by like 50%. So it's fair to say it was quite a tough time. But we're now in 2023 and we're going to do a dividend portfolio update. Last month, my total net liquidity sat at £4,230.80. This month it's up, it's £4,710.34. And that is a little bit of performance, a little bit of returns, and also deposited money. We'll have a look at exactly how much of that was deposited money in a minute, but let's just have a look here. So if we go year to date, we can see that the rate of return is quite nice, but we're not very far into January. And what you'll also notice is my portfolio it has exposure to those big tech companies in the US, you know, your Meta, your Amazon, your Apple, your Microsoft that are falling right now. So it's going to have a little bit of that displaying in the rate of return, but also I do have some quite stable companies that tend to do well in times of like recessions and things like that. So it's balancing out quite nicely for me. If we go to the last 7 days, we also see a positive rate of return. And then if we go to 1 year, we can see it a little bit differently. So over the course of 1 year, my rate of return is negative 3.58. And then if we look at the value of the portfolio, what you'll see here is there's some very sudden jumps. So this is over the last month, but let's just put it over the last year. All of these little like staircase steps, if you will, those are where I've deposited money. But you'll also see that there's quite a lot of fluctuation in between. And this is just the portfolio doing its thing, stocks going up and down and that just being reflected. But all in all, I'm quite happy that we've entered 2023 with just under 5,000 in this portfolio. It's exciting and I can't wait to add even more to it. And this is on top of my Vanguard portfolio. So I'm starting to get myself in a bit of a nicer place with how much money I've actually got invested. But we all know we want more. So I'll keep working towards that. Settled cash here, £95.88, and dividends that are due to come in, £7.31. We'll take a look at how much I've got in dividends so far in a bit on my dividend tracker, but this is just cash ready to be deployed into investments. And if I top up the account, it comes in here. And once it's in the buying power section, it's ready to use. So going on to the portfolio now. What you can see here is you can see every position that I have, and you can see how many shares I have. You can see the percentage change, the cost basis, so what did I pay for it, the market value, so what is it worth right now, the average price that I paid, and any wins or losses over different time periods essentially. So I'm going to filter this by the highest position. No, I'm not. I lied to you. I'm going to do it by the cost basis. So what have I put the most money into? And we're going to work our way down. So I've got Vusa here. That is my largest position in this portfolio. And it's my largest position across all of my portfolios because I do also have Vusa in my Vanguard account as well. So when I add the amount of Vusa I've got in here plus the amount that I've got in Vanguard, I'm at like 92 shares, I think. So my next aim is to pop that up to 100 shares of Vusa. That's a nice rounded figure and I'm excited to meet that one. So we all know the S&P 500 hasn't been doing too well recently. And we kind of know why with those stocks that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the Apple, the Tesla, all of them ones crashing down. It's reflected in the S&P 500 and we can see that here as well. I have £1,480 of my own money invested into Vusa, and at the moment that's returning me £1,453.77. So of course at the moment on this investment I'm down. But this is long term, isn't it? I don't mind if Vusa's going to be down by a little bit. If anything, I just want to buy more. My next biggest position is Unilever. You can see the difference in the price I bought it for and the price it's currently worth here. I won't go through all of them. We've got National Grid, and then we've got a new position, which you would have seen if you watch my Invest With Me videos that I do every single month. VHYL, Vanguard's High Dividend Yield ETF. And I'm really excited to be adding this one. At the moment, I have got a position of 9, so I've got 9 shares in this one. And you'll see that it's up a little bit for me at the moment, and you'll see my average price. But definitely want to be investing more into that. You'll also see that Rio Tinto has a little blue mark on it. And that's because, as my Patreon members will already know, I made the decision to sell a little bit of this, trim it back a little bit, and deploy that capital elsewhere. And then the next new position that we didn't have last month when I last did a portfolio update is Airtel Africa. Go back to the Invest With Me video and watch that if you want to know exactly why I've invested into this company. But again, it's a new one here today, so I just wanted to point it out. And then I'll just let you quickly take a look at the rest of my portfolio. Moving on to the performance tab here, we've already kind of looked at the portfolio performance. It's not surprising. Everyone's portfolio is looking a little bit worse for wear at the moment. But I'm just excited. I'm excited by the opportunity. Something that I missed out on in 2020 is actually taking advantage of the opportunity in the stock market presented to me. And I've been, consistently investing this time round. I just wanted to point out here the asset class, the sector and the industry split of my portfolio. You can see that I'm mostly in stocks. I have a little bit of cash as well sitting here, but pretty much it's all going to be in stocks. Sectors, interesting. You can see the split here. I definitely need to balance my portfolio a little bit more. I'm just not panicking about it too much because I'm just going to continuously invest, and the sectors will sort itself out. I know what sectors I need to have more exposure to, and I'm working towards that. And again, the industry here. I just wanted to show a little bit more detail in terms of the performance of this portfolio. So you can see here that we can look at time rate weighted return or money weighted return. I'm going to put it on money weighted return, and then I'm going to put it from inception, so the time that I opened this portfolio. And I opened this in April 2022, so we're not even a year in yet. So you can see that obviously I began with £0 in here. I have now put in £4,707. No, that's currently what it's worth, sorry. I put in this deposit amount here. So all in all, I've made money on this account, but I've not made crazy amounts of money. And that's just because so far, the power of long-term investing, riding those lows hasn't really taken place in the portfolio. And also I haven't really had time for compounding to work and reinvesting those dividends that I feel very strongly about. If you want to see a little bit of a nicer picture, I can just put year to date, which of course is going to look a little bit nicer. You can see the change here as well. So since I filmed last month, I filmed one of these videos, I put in £450 into this portfolio. And then the last time before that was on the 5th of December, £500. So I've only put in 450 so far, but I'll be making many more investments into this portfolio very, very soon. And the first people to hear about what I'm investing in is going to be the Patreon members. We have a Discord chat, we chat about investing, and I release Patreon only updates for those guys as well. So it's been really, really fun chatting to them all. I just wanted to share as well on my dividend tracker that I made how much this portfolio paid me last month. So since the last update. And you'll see here very quickly that I got £11.35. And this was split between a few different stocks. So I got Vusa, I got Trig, and I got Unilever. But if you watched my how much my portfolio paid me video, which if I remember, I'll link it, but if not, you'll find it on the channel. I was missing one payment from my Vanguard account for Vusa. So this £11.35 should have been a lot higher, more like 20 something, but it is what it is, and I'll get that payment in January. So that's how my portfolio has been doing since the past 1 month. It's not been doing great, but it's also not been doing that badly. If you compare my portfolio to the S&P 500, for example, it looks a lot better, but it depends what you're comparing it to. And like I said, I don't really mind. I'm in this for the long game. So these little market fluctuations when my portfolio is up or down doesn't really matter. If anything, I'm looking for buying opportunities. So I'm quite excited about this time, but let me know how your portfolio is doing. And like I said, if you want to become a Patreon member and get access to the Discord, look in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.